Welcome everyone to the next Captain's Insight. Today from my Hamburg hotel view here. Today we're going to talk about vibe coding your real work. While you might be fantasizing like me a lot, I want to build this mega SaaS. There is so much value in building small tools for your everyday work. It's going to free up your time, your energy, while at least for me, raising my quantity and quality of output. I'm going to show you a real example of how I've been applying to our event management system and share everything how you can apply it to you. So as always, you can read this article here on our website, pirateskills.com, or you can watch it on YouTube, or you can listen to it on our Build, Grow, Repeat podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. So let's get started. You're already vibe coding. Yeah, you have maybe picked your stack. We have an article for that last week. You set up your AI-powered workflows to vibe manage yourself. And you're building this product, but you're still wondering, like, where am I supposed to get this time from? Yeah, to do something with this AI stuff. And the answer to me has been building my own tools and pointing that new vibe coding skill that I gained at my real everyday work that is taking up hours and hours and hours every single week. So that is what we are going to do today. This all started with me when I had this little issue. I used a lot of AI models at the time, like a year ago, and I always told it my entire context of my business, of Pirate Skills, who I am. Because I'm not that famous, that every AI product has an absolute up-to-date record, and they're all always at least like 6 months old. So I built myself a little tool where I could switch models and switch context, and that later turned into my first SaaS called The Captain, which you can look at if you like. And that was just a real problem that I wanted to solve. Then turns out, I now got this cool code base with Next.js working, and it looks much better than my current website that is running on WordPress. Why the fuck should I be running my own WordPress website and being so fucking annoyed at plugins and everything that I couldn't do in WordPress? So I script my entire WordPress site, imported the relevant content, all just managed by the AI. I just talk to cursor, my website appears. And that was like a big thing, that tool that I built for myself. But it doesn't always have to be that big. The biggest breakthrough actually came recently when I sat down with Christina, who is responsible for all of our events. We are hosting now like 4 events every month, 1 offline, 3 online, plus a hackathon every quarter. So there is a lot of management going on there. And I so often lost, like, when is which event? Have we already prepared everything? Are people getting automatically invited to the Google Calendar thing? Have we set up Zoom? Lots of things just fell through the tracks where I was involved. Christina knows her shit. She gets everything done, but there are some dependencies on me that she always kind of had to work around. Yeah, especially like since we moved to this a bit more technical setup. So what I did for myself is build this little preparation landing page. You can see a screenshot here if you're reading this or watching this, where you can see event prep, and there's the upcoming event called Forge Preview. That is next Wednesday. I know 18 people have registered and I've done all of the work necessary. But for Vibe Coding Cologne a week later, there is still something missing. I've done everything. I've got the Google event. I got Zoom. I got everything. I have everything customized, but I haven't run any ads yet. And I run a small ad campaign on every event that I do. And that clearly shows me what I need to do. And that way, I could just unfold this. I'm going to show this later to you, how this looks like in more detail. It was so easy for me to see like what is prepared, what is working, what is not working. And that we then turned into a much more craziness, which I will go into in a second. I saw this But I still also saw, I still have 84 events to be prepared until the end of the year. And I knew I need help. Yeah. So that leads me to the question, where do you guys need help? Have you ever tried to build a tool for yourself on your own? Do you use it regularly? Or did you try building it for yourself, but maybe you have abandoned it? Or have you thought about it, but didn't dare to do it yet, or have not tried yet? Or did it not even ever occur to you that you could build yourself, your own little dashboards and buttons you can click on that do stuff for you? So let's dig into that. Why I think it's such a benefit to build your own little tools. And that they have big advantages about building an entire product. First of all, you don't need to acquire any customers. You are the customer. You are the user of this tool. There's no marketing involved. All of this stuff around it just is not there. Then you get instant feedback, from yourself. You don't have to do any customer interviews. If you later want to build a product out of that, which can often happen, you can do that, but not right now. Every day, this tool compounds. You find something that you don't like. You tell the AI, hey, could you please format the event description this and that way? And voila, it's done for you. And your tool becomes better every day. And it's the perfect fit for you. You don't have to make any compromises for other users. You can just do what you need. And there's no scope creep. Nobody telling you, we need this and this and that in this tool as well. It's just for you. So this is a very good place to maybe even start your vibe coding journey, or if you are still too afraid to build something that is very public, this gives you a place to direct all of your interest in playing with AI tools and vibe coding by building your own internal tools. So how did I now go from these, I need to plan 84 events, to done in about half a day? It took Christina and me. We sat here side by side. I taught her how I think about building these internal tools. And the first thing I had her do was what is your current process? And at the moment, she needs to decide when the dates are, prefers Wednesday afternoons, working around holidays and vacations. Then she creates the Google Calendar events, creates a Zoom event, links them together, writes descriptions for each of the events, and then sometimes needs to even manually import people from the registration page on pirateskills.com into the Google Calendar, which is insanely annoying. It was very time-consuming for her, and it required a lot of back and forth with me. So after we did this, we had every event here in this dashboard. This is just an opened up version of what you saw above. You see again the Vibe Coding Cologne event. You can see 73 people signed up so far, which is February 22nd. And I have done everything. I added the Zoom thing, but not I did it. But what I'll show you, the AI did that for me. The Cologne event is created. We got event invitation emails. We got reminders before the event. We got a follow-up email, all automated. Here, the only thing I haven't done yet is running that ad campaign. And that needs to be done now. This helps me. This is one of the few manual steps I still have in there. To remember, Ben, you need to create an ad campaign. But everything else was taken care for me already. So what did we do? We essentially gave the AI access to Google Calendar and Zoom. We needed to set up a few API keys in these tools. That was a complete showstopper for me before vibe coding. I couldn't work with an API. I didn't know what to do with it, but now I can say hey, AI, could you please help me set up those API keys for you, and can you guide me through that process? And it took me step by step in Google Calendar and Zoom, told me what to do, and I clicked for it. I'm still the click monkey for the AI. I recognize that now. But I wouldn't dare to let a tool like OpenClaw just loose on creating API keys for me. I'm not that crazy yet. getting there, I'm sure. And then we just copy pasted all of the event dates and titles into the cursor chat window and set it, use your API access, set up these events, and build me a little dashboard where I can see what you have successfully done, where we still need to do some manual work. And that's it. This is how this event prep dashboard was created. And now 84 events are created in Google, in Zoom. A couple of days before, I prepared all of the email types that go out dynamically that were associated now with those 84 events, and boom, we were done. And the best thing is, the next quarter will take roughly an hour. And all of this stuff went way faster than I thought. It took us half a day. That's true. But the work would have taken at least half a day. We would not have done it for all of the year. We would just have done it for the next quarter. But this gives people in my community now a better look ahead, or if a company decides maybe they want to join one of the forges as a team, they need to plan further ahead, and they can look up to the end of the year 2026 for that. So, and then I saw, wow, those descriptions are way better than what I would have done before. All of the workshop titles were suddenly customized because I told it like, hey, I saw you use generic titles for that. Like, could you just look on my own website and customize all of the titles for the workshop events, for the calendar events? And it did. And it just took seconds for those changes to happen if I didn't like something. That felt so relieving. Yeah. And knowing that I made also an investment in the future, where it now takes less and less time, and I can extend that tool. And I didn't need to have any MCP servers for that. The AI just directly used the Google and Zoom API, communicated with that directly, wrote a couple of functions which it will use in the future, and it wrote me a little dashboard. But not everything needed to have an MCP server to do that, and it's crazy how fast that all happened. So you might be asking yourself how to pick the right problem to solve, and maybe let me tell you a few stories on when this didn't work out so well for me. But let's start with the positive. Yeah, I asked myself these three questions: like, what is a task that I do regularly that makes me groan, that I don't like to use, that is annoying and repeating? Then second, what data do I check in like 3+ places that could be just in one view? Like, for example, Google, the Zoom, and my own registration page. Those were 3 places, and I just wanted to see it in one view and build a little dashboard for that. Feels inconvenient that way? And the third question is, like, what is a process where I keep on forgetting like small steps that are actually important? For example, if I do an event and like organically, I would say 100 people sign up for the Vibe Coding Cologne events, and then 50 to 60 people show up. If I do an ad campaign, 150 people sign up, and 100 people show up. And same event, same effort, bigger impact. Yeah, so I don't want to forget that. I wanted to help me do that. Same with the reminder emails. We sent out regular Monday newsletters, but sometimes Monday became Tuesday, or we were not consistent in the times, so people didn't get notified early enough to plan for their week, and boom, we missed out on reaching a lot of people we wanted to talk to. So let me also tell you, like, maybe what's not good to build. I built myself a to-do list for Pirate Skills a while ago that I could manage through the captain. I abandoned it since I noticed, hey, I have Linear, which is much more robust, very cheap and purpose-built project management system. So I scrapped the to-do list. Then I considered doing all analytics dashboards within the admin area of Pirate Skills. I pulled away from that, focused on doing that with Post Hoc. which is much stronger for that. And I don't have to rebuild everything. Yeah, that is clear to me. So the rule I have is this one here: build where you can get build where you can't get easy, simple, and reliable access to an existing tool. And if there's a great tool that exists for a couple of months, years a month, then use that. Build for the gap. Yeah. Then I have a couple of ideas. Yeah, what you could build. I organized my business usually like in 3 categories, like build, grow, organize. I call it automate here. So building would be building the product, like this event prep dashboard is really helpful. Yeah, or a tracker where I have my content, that I have planned out in, or maybe an attendee feedback tool. Is in my pipeline that I want to build soon. Maybe I want to see which features people are using. Then the growth category, I definitely going to build the creative drafter where some images and videos are stitched together with different message angles, and it helps me build stronger campaigns. Then I want to have like a social media planner. I already have this. Going to talk about that in the future for sure. Like a whole content cascade system that is more built around a skill. I haven't even built tools around it, which is very simple to do. And there are many ideas. Just look through them, see what maybe inspires you, but ask yourself these 3 questions and use the ship plan at the bottom of this article that has a couple of prompts in it that guide you through a process on how to recognize opportunities in your own business, in your own work, what you can automate, and how to get going with that. All right. So what's my process for going like from something that has this type of friction to something functional? First step is I look, is there already a solution out there? Since I now have access to all of the developer tools, I look in MCP directories, I look on skills.sh these days. Has somebody already built a good solution for that I don't need to rebuild and that I trust? Yeah. Then the next step is, can I just do it with a skill? So skills are essentially just enhanced context for the AI in Cursor or Claude Code. To know how you want a certain process to be done with the right resources. And you can just describe what you want to have done regularly, like my weekly content process is also in a skill. Whenever I see myself doing something repeated, the first thing I do is just have the AI build a new skill for that. And then if that is not enough and we maybe need some more robust functionality, I just ask it, hey, could you build these functions to communicate with Google for the most repeated thing? And that goes back into the skill. Please use these functions that are already in our code base, that are to our exact standards, have our security rules in there. And so this leaves like artifacts, not just text that went back and forth between the AI like you would do in ChatGPT, but now real functionality that is in your code that you haven't written, I don't write, that is being handled by you talking to the AI and it knowing where to do it. And then last but not least, if I still need a bit of a more visual component to it, I ask it to build a dashboard to see it, and these dashboards then look like what I showed you above, where I can see an image, but where I see an overview of the data. I want to look at like all of my events, but also links to important resources like previewing the email templates, or I have a button here for the registration sync. If the AI sees, if there is a comparison between what is the number of registrations in my code base and what is already on Google Calendar, there are more people in my registration thing. I could just click a button, or Christina can click a button, and that pushes the people to the calendar. Of course, it's a signal that something with the import wasn't going right. Yeah, so I can build myself little dashboards that just help me out here. So the progression goes from like search for existing solution, a simple skill, and writing real functions, then maybe building a dashboard for that. And then if you notice, this is something so valuable that other people need it, then you can turn it into a product. If no one else is doing that, then solve it for more people, like I did it with the Captain, for example, and the future tools that I have in mind. But some people tell me like, okay, but I can trust those tools to be as good as me. That is a typical delegation fallacy that we entrepreneurs love to fall into. Like, we are the best at the job. And the cool thing about these tools is that you can just tweak them, and they are working in your own system. You can always see what has been working, what has not been working. I'm working with Christina and these tools in a symbiosis. Christina essentially handles everything that can't be done by the AI and gives it the human touch and her intuition into it. And it doesn't need to be perfect. And whenever I find something that I don't like, I just say it. I don't like that you do it this and that way. And the next time it does it better. All right. And then something happens that is really interesting. Once you start building several tools, in your business, they kind of start compounding. Yeah, I have this dashboard that sees, oh, I've missed the Zoom call in that event. I can just say, hey, use the Zoom service, create that Zoom ID, put it in the database, you know where to put it. And then all of the check marks, that I normally would have needed to do, or Christina, are being checked off for me. And the integration between Zoom and Google Calendar, I don't have to worry about that anymore. And the email workflows that I've created a week ago can simply be attached to the tools that are, to the events that I've now created this way. And I don't have to worry about the wrong emails going out or not going out. Or people asking me like, oh, I registered, but I didn't get an email from you. Am I correctly registered? This is all gone. They slowly start building on top of each other. And you build yourself like a little operating system. The analogy I love the most that I got from one talk from Andrej Karpathy is like, you're building yourself this little Ironman suit. With all of these little tools that give you superpowers, and building your own tools that are not even for your customers, but just push away all of the unnecessary work that you could automate. That is such a superpower that we can build for ourselves. And I hope you like that. To help you along, I built this little first helper tool preview here. You can just like register here if you're not already. And you get like 7 prompts for like 7 steps how to source good ideas from you. You can just copy paste those prompts, put them into Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude, whatever you like, and it will guide you and ask you questions and help you build that first product for you. I hope you like this Captain's Insights, and we see each other at one of the upcoming events. For example, we always have a Builder Lab that is product development, vibe coding focused. For example, the next one is on March 18th. It happens every month. And then we have the Growth Lab, where we have more vibe marketing oriented stuff, how we grow our businesses. Next one is on March 11th. And then we got the Forges. Those Forges are 6 weeks cohort programs launching every quarter. Next one is going to be the Builder Forge on April 1st. Where you actually learn to do this with me and a group of other people, crazy people just like you and me. I hope to see you there at one of those events. Otherwise, just enjoy the upcoming Captain's Insights and have fun with this. Have a good day.